to have you on the programme. We now turn to developments in Europe, and Ukraine has accused Hungary of acting under Russian influence after Budapest detained 7 Ukrainian citizens, transporting around $82 million in cash and gold, prompting a sharp escalation in tensions between the neighbours. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andrei Sybiha has said that the move has been carried out by Hungary's counter-terrorism forces against 2 Ukrainian armoured vehicles, amounted to state racketeering and terrorism. Sybiha has added that the seizure was a deliberate provocation and part of a broader pattern of pressure linked to recent contacts between Hungarian officials and Moscow. Let's listen in to what Andrei Sybiha had to say.
Ми вважаємо, що це акт державного рекету і тероризму, неприпустимий. Ми будемо діяти дзеркально. Це неприпустима поведінка, це безвідповідальна поведінка, це провокативна поведінка. А з іншого боку, ми будемо діяти в межах міжнародного права, дотримуючись всіх наших зобов'язань і відповідально, але рішуче. Ми не допустимо приниження над нашими громадянами, ми не допустимо провокацій щодо України, ми не допустимо викрадення, це теж і акт викрадення українського майна. Ми теж бачимо тут російський почерк. І мені теж здається, що ось оці поїздки деяких представників угорської влади до Москви, що все це ланцюжок певних подій, певних провокацій, і їх, мабуть, слід очікувати і...
Joining us is Major General G once again on this. Let's take a look at this relationship, Ukraine and Hungary. Hungary, of course, a member of the European Union, a bloc with the vast majority of which supporting the Ukrainian cause against Vladimir Putin and Russia. To what extent has Hungary's approach towards Moscow strained its relations with Ukraine and the European Union, which of course it is a part of?
A lot. You see, you need to look at Hungary and Slovakia from the perspective of, for lack of correct expression, I would say strategic autonomy. These 2 countries, regardless of the sanctions imposed, they have stood up to all challenges. And despite all sanctions, these 2 countries consistently making all-out effort and buying oil from Russia. And if you look at the geopolitical affiliation and the affinity, both the countries, they have been great supporters of Russia and Russia's cause. If you look deep into the political dynamics as also geopolitics and the economic component, and the most important thing is there is a pipeline which goes through Ukraine to Hungary. The pipeline had turned defective. It is supposed to be repaired. Unless it is repaired, the oil cannot actually go smoothly. It cannot be supplied from Russia's side through Ukraine to Hungary as also to Slovakia. That pipeline, unfortunately, because of the old animosity or traditional animosity and difference of view, and I would say a very sour relationship, that has not been repaired. Although this particular report has got a lot of meaning and a lot of pattern which has been established in the past, there is a racketeering going on. There are cases of terrorism reports in the past as well. In the instant case, I feel that it is because the pipeline repair is not taking place with the expertise coming from Ukraine, or Ukraine is not providing any kind of expertise. That is the center of the issue, which is actually souring and bringing up these new emerging issues, which never is to catch, or very limited number of times it is to come to the mainstream media. I think that is the issue. If the oil pipeline is repaired and smooth flow of oil continues, as used to happen earlier, to Hungary and Slovakia, then I think all these issues will get resolved automatically. That's my take, and you may have some additional inputs which I don't have. And so as per the inputs available from the open source and my study, I feel it is all attributed to the old pipeline case, which is lying defective and yet to be repaired, because Ukraine is not extending the forthright and spontaneous support of the expertise and the mechanics who have the know-how on the subject and who can repair this particular defect. Back to you, please.
Major General Sadakarji, as always, such a great pleasure, sir, to talk to you. Thank you so much for taking the time in joining us here on NewsX World. We now move on and over to the United States for our next update, where the Trump administration has introduced strict new rules for civilian AI contracts, requiring companies to allow any lawful use of their models. This comes amid a dispute between the Pentagon and AI firm Anthropic, which has recently designed a supply chain risk by the Pentagon. As a result, government contractors are now barred from using Anthropic's technology for military work. The General Services Administration, otherwise known as the GSA, has proposed guidelines that mandate AI companies seeking contracts to grant the US an irrevocable license for lawful use of their systems. These guidelines also prohibit contractors from encoding partisan or ideological judgments into AI data outputs and require disclosure of any regulatory compliance modifications. The GSA has ended Anthropic's contract, terminating its availability to US government branches.